嗨，大家好，我是陈爸，我们又来到我们今天的直播间了。今天非常有趣，是我们今天邀请了国外的来宾。So we are going to do this in English today because we have international guests from Indonesia. And before we start, I want to recognize my sponsors, as you can see down here at the bottom. 感谢这几位伙伴们的一个赞助，让陈爸可以继续直播。齐秦、佳瑜、静慧、丽芬、视频、Juliet、史蒂尔、蔡英文、Jordan、小夏捐款相挺。虽然说捐款最近比较没有在进账了，不过还是非常感谢所有看我们直播的伙伴，然后还有请喜欢的话，麻烦请分享、按赞跟 follow。Okay, so today we have two very special guests, and I'm going to bring them to our live stream here. And let's say hi to Maria and Clara from Indonesia. Let's say hi to everyone in Taiwan. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, that's Maria, and this is Clara. And so thank you very much for doing the live stream with us. And it's right now 8 p.m. in Taiwan, and it's 7 p.m. in Indonesia.
Yes.
And we're saying that before the program starts, it's still a bit hot in Indonesia. And we would like to start right away. There are homeschool families in Taiwan watching this program right now, and homeschool family around the world. And so my first question to Maria is that if you could tell us a little bit about homeschooling, tell us a bit about Indonesia and more about homeschooling in Indonesia. Just what it's like to homeschool in Indonesia at the moment.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria. I live in Indonesia. My son is 16 years old now. He's never go to school. So he is homeschool since he was a toddler. For our family, homeschooling is a fun way to learn about so much thing that will raise your creativity and interest. As my son, he is like to write, to make a book. He can learn about how to make book in his own learning pace. That will be, I believe that will be happen in public school, in formal school. Okay. So I want to talk about homeschooling Indonesia. Homeschooling Indonesia is very fun. You know, Indonesia have very much places that beautiful, very beautiful, and cultures that we can learn in a very fun way. Our family is a traveler. We like to go to every place in Indonesia. To tell the truth, we are not much going to foreign country, but we have travel around Indonesia and to the remote area. We specialize in remote area. We didn't like to travel to very crowded travel. What you say? Travel destination. Okay. We like to go to villages, to small places, to remote area. That's how we doing our homeschool. That way we our son learn about cultures learn about language, about the how people live, and he get much much things to learn about how to make anything that from different cultures, such as how to do waves, or how to cook meat, how to he is learn also about how to what do you say how to clean after you hunting wait wild boar. We have a friend who has been hunting for wild boar, and they give the wild boar to us, and we clean the skin, the fur, and we clean the meat. Nah, my son learned about that. I believe that will not happen in school. Indonesia have 3 parts of education: formal, non-formal, and informal. Homeschooling is in informal part. So that means we don't have to submit or do anything to wait.
This part is very interesting for me because when I first read it, I have a lot of questions. And first of all, the terms you describe: formal, non-formal, and informal. And what are the difference? I mean, I can understand the words, the meaning of the words, but actually, in actual fact, what does it mean? For instance, first, let me ask, what's the compulsory education age in Indonesia? Do you have to go to school between certain age? Like in Taiwan, you have to go to school between age 6 and 15. And from 6 to 15, and 16 to 18 is not compulsory. But if you want to go, the government pays for it. How about in Indonesia? Is there a compulsory education?
Okay. Formal part is for school. Non-formal part is for a course such as English course and course like that. Homeschooling is informal. In informal is mean that you don't have to submit anything, sign up to anything. But if you want to continue to school, for example, to go to college, you have to sign up to non-formal part.
Right. So at this point, I want to bring in Clara, who can help us explaining using her own example, because she explained to me earlier that there are options, but she chose to have the exam because she need to go to university. So that's Clara, if you can say hi to everyone and then tell a little bit about yourself, and in particular about the part about formal, informal, and non-formal.
Yes.
So please go ahead, Clara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, okay.
Just tell us who you are
Hello.
and what are you doing.
My name is. Okay. Hello. My name is Clara. I'm from Indonesia, and I currently living in Yogyakarta and a German teacher. And yeah, as Tim said already, I already taking a I attend university and already graduated from it. And as Tim also said, in my opinion, there are choices for homeschoolers to to do their way to do their homeschooling. There are people that choose to not taking any tests at all. We usually use the term unschooling here, but yeah, maybe they call it homeschooling. Yeah, it's just a term. And yeah, they do it informally. But when I take the test, then I also doing it in informal as a homeschooler, but also in a non-formal way, since I have to take the test in the place where the test was held. And also, if it the other people who go to school, they are doing the formal education. So yeah, it's like that.
How about the compulsory education? The question I ask: what age do you have? You are required to go to school by the government?
Compulsory
Clara?
means mandatory, isn't it?
Yes, mandatory education.
Okay. Mandatory. We have 12-year. What's it? Children must go to school for at least 12 years. It was counted 6 year in elementary school, 3 year in junior high, and other 3 year in high school. But some for what is it? Government school, state school, they will pay for our tuition. But if we go to other schools such as private school, we have to pay it by ourselves, of course.
And Maria, you said that your son, because you like travel, so you go around the country. And Indonesia, as we know, is a beautiful country. It's over 18,000 islands. So, and you choose not to go to school. But if you are required to go to school for 12 years, how do you balance that? Or what do you have to do to tell the government that I don't want to go to school. I want to travel with my kid.
Oh no, we don't have to tell government. We just educate our children. Yes.
Okay. Because in
We
Taiwan,
only have to tell government when we need to move to formal school. Such as my son want to go to the college, she have to submit to a non-formal education to get the certificate.
Ah, right. So because like in Taiwan, we have to attend the school. There's a compulsory required and between age 6 to 15. Like Clara said, we also have a primary, junior high school and senior high school, just like Indonesia. Yeah, but for the primary and the junior high school, it's a required. So anyone who doesn't go to school have to apply for homeschooling. You cannot just take your kid. The government will fine you and then fine you. You have to pay fine.
That's fine. Yeah. Nothing we have to do to tell the government. But we have to teach our children.
You have to teach your children.
Yes, we cannot let the children not unteachable.
Right. So are there any how can I put it, inspection from the government? Do they come and check you out?
No.
Like nothing. Okay.
No, nothing.
Okay. So and how about Clara? Because Clara was in the public school system or private school before for some time, and then you moved to homeschooling in the high school. Did you have to tell anybody from the government, or did they have to come and check you out? How was it like when you moved from a school to a homeschool?
No. When I finished my elementary school, I just continue my study at home, homeschooled. And when I was ready to do my national examination in a non-formal place, I just have to sign up and sign the paper they needed.
This is very educational for me, and thank you, Clara, to help me to understand. Because are there any requirements for people who want to sit for those exams? Like, can somebody, like for example, Maria's son, can he just show up at this informal exam center like tomorrow and say, I want to sit for the high school exam because I think I know everything, and maybe he's only like 12 or something? Can he do that?
No, actually, we are able to do that. We can't do it accidentally all of the sudden. We have to do a preparation as well for at least planning is everything. So right when we decided to do homeschool, we have to target when we want to sign ourselves up to the government or to the course place where we can take the test. And actually, for homeschoolers to take that test, we must have the certification of prior education for at least 2 years. So that's why I only can take the junior high and high school examination 2 years after my last certification. And most of the test participants are not always kids like us. They are sometimes also adults because this non-formal education is also helping some people who are not going to a formal education before. So there are a lot of people in the same room with a very various background.
This is very, very helpful
Can
for
I
me to
add
understand.
something?
Yes,
Can
please.
Yes. When Lala's go to school, go to non-formal school, the rules is different from now. Now everyone who homeschooling, if they plan to go to the college, they have to sign up to the non-formal education since the early years. So in primary one, they have to sign up from primary one. And the certification age is three years now. Lala said that 2 years.
Right.
So my son, I want see he actually can do the lesson from, but he is still keep the 3 years to
I see.
to take the next examination.
The next test. Yeah. Okay. I see.
He can get the acceleration.
So so this non-formal or informal education, what do you require? What's required? Because right now you're saying that all the homeschooler that used to be in the sort of outside the formal and informal system have to register with the informal school in order to homeschool. Am I understanding you correctly, Maria? It's the new regulation. Everyone have to register with the informal school if they want to go to university.
In informal, there is no school.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's education by family education. It's informal. So you don't have to sign up to anything. To everything.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So today we are interviewing Clara and Maria from Indonesia, and they are homeschool organizer and homeschool graduates from Indonesia. And I just learned that in Indonesia, you can homeschool whenever you want. You don't tell anybody. You just have to take the responsibility of educating your own child. So It sounds very free and very liberal, very open-minded. But how about So are there many people homeschooling Indonesia right now? Maria, do you have an idea how many people are homeschooling in Indonesia?
I can say that there is much people want to homeschool, but they understand that homeschool is not easy. So they decide to, in beginning when their children is still toddler, they want to homeschool. But when their children is in primary stage, they decide to go to school because they know that they can do the homeschool by their own. So
I see.
there is not much, I think, yeah.
Right. And your club, Sinao, can you tell me a little bit more about Club Sinao and what do you do for the homeschool families?
Actually, we don't have much activities anymore since I'm as the coordinator. Like to go everywhere. I leave my town.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm traveler.
So how do you help each other in Indonesia? How does homeschool organizer? I mean, how do you homeschool family
We do it
help each
online.
other? You do it online.
We do it online through
Right.
the Telegram, WhatsApp, and Facebook.
What are the most commonly asked questions from homeschool families in Indonesia?
About curriculum, and a book, homeschool book that is used by homeschool book or such as websites.
How do you get the materials? Do you use the same material at school? Maybe I'll ask Clara first.
Yeah.
And Clara, how do you when you are doing your homeschool in high school? How do you get the material? What curriculum do you follow?
Well, since I was planning to take the government test, so I am using Indonesian curriculum, and the books is easily easily get obtained by everywhere in the bookstore, or I can just borrow it from library. So yeah, it's easy to get it.
And did you use any tutorial service, or you just study the textbook yourself, or do you get any help from a tutor or someone else?
Mostly I do it on my own, and maybe with the help of the internet also. And if I have some difficulties, I can ask someone that understand this the subject quite good. And I usually also take ask a help from a tutor when I need to take the test. Maybe it's just like 1 month or 2 months, just a couple months for a preparation. And it's not for all subjects, just the subject where I'm very bad at, which is math. For example, yeah, I'm not really good at math. So yeah, I really need help on that.
How about other homeschoolers, Clara? Do you know any other homeschoolers in similar age, and how do they homeschool?
Yeah, I knew some homeschoolers in my community in Yogyakarta, but they, well, I can say they are not really doing the homeschooling thing. They are mostly doing the flexi school, so they are not really going to school. Instead, they are going to a place somewhere else, but the system is more likely like a school, but it's still claimed as a homeschool here. Yeah, another terms again. So because of that, because the system is more likely still like a school, they are still having the tutor for almost every subject. But since it's a flexi school, it means they didn't have to go to school every day.
I'm fascinated by all these new terms like education, formal, non-formal, informal, flexi school. Tell me more about flexi school. It sounds like it's a school, but students can choose they can go or not to go. And it's a flexi. Yeah,
flexi school is in non-formal part.
It's in the non-formal part.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where we can sign up to get the certification.
Right. So if you enroll in the flexi school like Clara's friends, then you can choose whether you want to go to school or not. It's up to you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then how does the school give you a certificate at the end? Based on what?
We have examination.
Okay.
National examination.
So basically, the flexi school students are registered, but they don't get diploma unless they pass the national examination. The flexi school don't offer any diplomas. Right.
No, they offer it. Yeah, maybe it's quite confusing. I can get it. So if we go to the formal education, the certification or the diploma you can get is the elementary diploma, junior high diploma, and high school diploma. And for a non-formal education, we have we call it paket A, paket A packages, paket B packages, and paket C packages. But it's not a food menu. It's paket A is equal to elementary school, B is equal to junior high, and C is equal to high school. So since I was formally educated in elementary, I still get elementary diploma, but for my high school, junior high school, I get packet B and packet C.
Okay, understand. And so so those are also considered homeschooler, but not really homeschooler because they still follow some sort of instruction. But if they go to flexi school, right? Okay. Now, going back to Maria, where do you see the biggest challenge for homeschooler in Indonesia right now? Because from what I can see, everything seems to be quite good. You have no regulation, nobody, if you don't go to school, that's cool. You know, you just need to show up at a certain time to take the test, and if you pass, get a B equal to finishing junior high school, and get a C, you finish high school, then you go to university. So there's no problem.
Yes, the biggest challenge is from people around us.
Oh, tell me more. What happened?
Especially people that doesn't understand about homeschooling. I can tell that my son has been bullying by people, by someone who does not understand about homeschooling, and he told to my son that you better go to school. You do like that because you are homeschooled. Nah, that's we don't like.
Right. That's not very nice.
Yes.
So this is not happening in school. This is just happening on the street. People came up to your son and say, "You need to go to school because young people shouldn't be not going to school."
Yeah.
And how about Clara? What's your experience like? You started homeschool in junior high, and what's your experience like outside the school?
Well, I got a different story from Tante Maria. If his son got bullied because he was homeschooled, I was bullied because I go to school. I went to school.
Okay.
So my experience outside the school, it was much more fun than I had at school, because at school we are we must to learn this and that, and they are always scheduled for everything that we have to do.
Yeah.
And so as I do homeschooling, I can choose what kind of subject I want to prioritize and which one I want to set aside for a while, and also the other activity other than just the subject that I have to learn for the examination, such as languages or arts or whatever thing that interests me at the moment.
Right, and earlier we talked about socialization and friends, and so Clara, you're saying that there are few people also in your city that they are homeschooled. How do you organize yourself? What do you do together?
Okay. Yeah, that's right. We have a community in Yogyakarta. This community was founded with the help of my mother. My mother facilitated me to get fellow homeschoolers. And as a fellow homeschoolers, we like to do art performance with the older homeschoolers. So the teenagers, at my age or a little bit below me, we do art performance such as pantomime or theater, and it's really it was really amazing because we get to perform in a huge place, in a huge event in Yogyakarta. It's quite prestigious at the moment. So yeah, I was very happy.
Yeah, that's a great experience. We in Taiwan, we sometimes the homeschoolers have difficulties of getting opportunities because they are not associated to a school because most of the resources are allocated to the school, like opportunity to participate in sports, competitions, or like in your case, theater and so on and so forth. And Clara, did you experience that as in high school homeschooling that you are denied access to certain opportunities because you don't have a formal school?
As long as I
ID.
remember, as long as I remember, I don't experience it, but recently I got some news that it is true that in Indonesia we having the same problems too. So for a more academical competition such as a debate or sport
Science,
or I don't know, science. Yes, science. They have to be like in a school or in a formal education and such. And
right.
it's really such a shame because I think that homeschoolers are sometimes having a wilder imagination or more creative way to solving problems than what the school students in school does. So something like that.
Right.
But yeah, as I said before, my experience, because I mostly only interested in art, and Yogyakarta is have a very strong arts influence. We don't have that much problem here.
Very nice. Very good to hear. And Maria, how about your son's case? Because you travel a lot, and how does he make friends? How does he retain a friendship with either other homeschoolers or anyone else?
No, he is not have relationship with other homeschooler. But he have his own friend, and I think that his friend is not from homeschooler. So he make friend from games and from other social media, such as DeviantArt. He is like to draw.
So many of his friends are people who he met online, and so they keep a online relationship. And tell me a bit more about your traveling lifestyle. And I'm curious. So how often do you move, and how long do you usually stay in one place?
I used to stay in one place in 1 month.
Uh-huh.
But this COVID make me stay in North Jakarta for almost 2 years now. Yeah,
Wow.
we are moved here before COVID come here, so we trapped here.
You're trapped there. Oh
Yes.
gosh. Oh no. And but how do you move? I'm interested. Do you move in a car? But Indonesia is 18,000 islands. So
No. I don't have car.
so you don't have a car. So how do you move?
I use public transportation such as boat, public transportation.
And
Bus,
how do you carry
train.
your luggages and all the belongings? How do you do it?
I do it in backpack.
Oh wow!
Yes.
So one backpack
a big
for
carrier.
1 month, and big carrier.
One people, one carrier.
Uh-huh. And how so just you and your son, or how many people are traveling
And my
in the
husband.
group? That's just 3 of you.
Yes.
And one backpack, one carry-on, and for 1 month.
Yes.
That's everything. Wow. That's incredible.
Yes.
That's incredible. Wow. He must learn so much while
Yes.
visiting this
Yes, my
beautiful country. Yeah.
Yes, my son learned so much, especially from Sumatra. You know
Yeah.
Sumatra?
No, what is this Sumatra?
An island in West Indonesia.
Right.
It's beautiful island.
That is really incredible. And
Yes.
so I want to turn our attention back to Clara. Before do that, I want to remind our audience who we are interviewing today. We are talking to homeschool families from Indonesia, and with me there's Maria, who has a son and who travels in Indonesia and by public transportation and homeschooling at the same time, and they used to living only 1 month per place and keep moving. And she highly recommended Sumatra, which is a western island, and it's very beautiful and can learn so much about it. And also Clara, who is a homeschool graduate and just finished her degree in German education. So, and she speaks German, English, Japanese, and French, and is a really amazing young lady. And I want to
also speak in Japanese.
Oh yes, and also she speaks Indonesian languages. I don't know. I don't know how many Indonesian language they are, but I don't know how many you speak.
Thousands.
There must be a lot. So going back to education again, Clara, when you go to university, are you the only homeschooler in the university? How do people treat you? What's their reaction when they heard that you are from homeschooling background?
Yes, apparently so. Yeah, I am homeschool. Yeah, as Tante Maria said before, homeschoolers are quite rare in Indonesia, especially in Yogyakarta, I suppose. That's why when I go to university, I was the only one, the first homeschoolers maybe who attend that university, and
The
also
first
the youngest
homeschooler.
as well. Yes,
Yes.
maybe, I don't know.
And what was the reaction from your classmates or teachers? And what are they looking at you like you are some exotic species from out of the planet, and they are curious whether you can read and write? What was their reaction? What was the teacher's reaction?
Yeah, they usually asking like how I learn stuff, or how did I do my examination, and they maybe throwing some judgments such as, hey, you must be lonely and stuff and other things. But yeah, mostly they curious because I can graduate it earlier than them, because um 3 and
So
4 years, it's quite an age gap.
right. So you enter university earlier than the school students, or you enter about the same age?
Yes.
Okay.
Earlier.
No,
Earlier.
I was 15 and the other is around 18 or 19.
Wow. So, but you look very mature. So they didn't think you are that old, right? And
Yeah, and I was planning to hide it. But yeah, people are so curious. Yeah.
Now, this is interesting because in Taiwan, we also have the similar system for people who take the exam and get recognized as a graduate from high school and graduate from junior high school, senior high school. But there's an age restriction. So you have to be at least as old as the high school graduate before you can take that exam. So, but in Indonesia, you don't have that restriction. You can take it anytime you want.
Tim, when
I
Clara
didn't, but I don't know what is now.
Yeah.
is in graduation, different regulation than now. Now we can do that. There is age regulation.
Yeah.
Oh, just like in Taiwan, there's an age regulation.
Yes.
Okay.
So my
Yeah.
son can go faster
Um,
than his age.
yeah.
I know. This
The
all
rules
because
is constantly
Lara's
changing.
fault.
Clara is
Lara
very
was
lucky.
Lara is doing too well, and the school got scared. So they don't want anyone else
Yeah.
to skip class and then go to become a young college girl. So and how about in the
that's right.
college? Did you spent 4 years in college, or did you finish earlier too?
Earlier too.
You did?
Well, no, but no, it can't. Yeah, in Indonesia, I think most university in Indonesia is just the same like school in formal education. People are difficult to accelerate their study in the university, and especially in, I don't know, in my university or in my major. Yeah, it's quite difficult to make it faster, but at least I can finish it on time. That's quite good enough for me.
I know, but that means that you graduated before you turn 20, right? I mean, 4-year degree, 4-year study, and 15. So
Yeah.
most
19,
people who went to primary school at the same age, at the same time as you are, was probably still studying or trying to get into university, and you already finished and become a teacher.
Right. They are still a freshman, I suppose.
Right. And those who were mean to you when you were in the primary school, now you can say, nah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you do now? Now you finished the education program. You finished the German education degree. Your plan was to go to Germany, right? To study further, to use your language. But COVID changed everything. So what do you do now?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, my parents are back there, so they are laughing. Yeah, I am planning to go abroad, but I'm not sure whether it will be German or not. I'm still interested to go to USA to study more about linguistics. I suppose, I don't know. I still have a lot in my mind. I still have a lot of interest. And yeah, because of the COVID, I currently are not able to look for a scholarship. And so instead I can say improving my skills, especially in German skills and teaching skills, because I'm working at a German language course right now.
Right. Okay. And how about Maria? You are stuck for 2 years because of COVID. and so what are you going to do next? And when's your son going to be moving out of homeschooling? When do you think he'll finish homeschooling?
We are planning to have a packet B.
Yeah, packet B
certification. Yes, next year. So he is learning to prepare for this.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just being a writer here.
I see. And so for the new regulation, and
Yes.
so he will need to be, at least how old does he need to be before he can take bucket B?
My son is late.
Okay.
He is now 16 years old. He actually he can take the packet C, not packet B anymore, because of the regulation. He can do that. He can accelerate to get the certification.
So, but he'll be taking packet B or C next year.
Yes, packet B.
Yeah, packet B first. Okay,
packet B.
And then later bucket C, and when he's ready.
At 2024.
24. Okay, so it has to be 4 years later. Yeah. Okay.
3 years.
3 years later. Oh, that's right. 2021 and 2024. Okay. So that's all because our smart homeschooler Clara has made the school very mad, and then they decided that nobody can skip the class until they are 3 years after they finish the middle school and high school. Oh, that's very well. I don't know. I feel I feel grateful for Clara, and you did a wonderful job, and your mom, your dad, they are behind the camera laughing, and I want to congratulate them for raising such wonderful homeschooling child and great experience. And I want to thank Maria for sharing your story and your leadership and your travel log, and just make homeschooling experience a real choice for everyone in Indonesia. And so far there are no questions from our audience. Everybody being very quiet. So I guess if before we go, is there? I'll give each of you 1 minute to say something, to tell our friends in Taiwan or whoever is watching around the world. What would you like to say about your homeschooling experience? And before we go, so maybe Maria can go first, and tell us, say something about before we leave this program.
Okay. Homeschooling is very, very fun. You please don't hesitate to take the opportunity to teach your own child, because that will be a very precious moment, and you can travel a lot like me. Okay.
I know. I mean, I just thinking about living out of one backpack for 1 month, and been doing that since your son was a small kid, and for the past.
I've been went to Singapore 1 month with one carrier.
One backpack.
To Singapore.
Amazing. I mean, for the past 16
We have to looking for
years.
Laundry every day.
Yes. You learn to know what's important to you, because everything is important. You have to carry it yourself.
Yes, right.
That's great. And Clara, give us your last few minutes about homeschooling experience.
Being a homeschooler means to be able to have everyone as our teacher and every places as our classes. So I think, homeschool is a very good opportunity for you to try. But if you really want to do homeschool, well, give your all. So it's all or nothing.
That's right. It's very important. And your experience, your 19, being able to graduate from college at 19 years old and speak 5 languages is just a great example of how homeschooling can really help you. And you may start it as something out of necessity, because you didn't have a positive experience in the school, but at the end it worked out great for you, because you found your true calling and being able to do it. And last but not least, I want to say thank you, and so to both of you, Maria, Clara, for taking the time out to do this interview with me. And if you would like to know more about homeschooling in Indonesia and Singapore, and remember to join our GHCC conference next month, and just watch the channel, and I will posting more about the time and the schedules and for all of us. And thank you very much. And we'll be finishing. Before we go, I want to thank my sponsors, and their names are here. 非常谢谢你们捐款挺陈爸，然后我们今天的直播就到此结束。Okay, thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.